the willingness. There's something inside. You don't want to listen to your ego, that inner ego of ours, which so dominates our lives. And we forget that all of these burning desires, all of these things that we know inside, this is my essence, this is what I'm here for, they had nothing to do with your personality. Your personality is dictated by your senses. Your eyes, your ears, what you can taste, what you can touch, what you can feel, what you can hear. And that's just a smidgen of what your reality is. You not only determine what your willingness, but how determined are you? How much determination do you have inside to fulfill what is your calling? What is it that excites you? What makes you just inside say, this is what I know I'm here for? What makes you feel good? If you call my cell phone, which you're not going to get, but if you do, the answer machine will say, this is Wayne Dyer that you reached, and I want to feel good. And if your message is designed to do anything other than that, you reach the wrong number. I suggest you call Dr. Phil. That's what it says. What makes you feel good? What gives you enthusiasm? Entheos, God. Yasm, within, the God within. Enthusiasm in Greek. What is it that just makes your heart just throb? What is it that you know you have to do, but you've put aside, you haven't allowed yourself to do because of that? You have to be fearless. And how much compassion do you have, not only for others but for yourself, but most of all, love. I was on a tour. I was in Turkey. I took a group of people to the Mediterranean, and one of the stops was in Istanbul, and then from there we went to Ephesus in Turkey. Ephesus is the place in Turkey where the mother of Jesus lived the last 37 years of her life. And I was to give a lecture there, outside this beautiful home that has been reconstituted, and in this ancient city in Turkey. It was in September the 30th. It was very, very hot, and we all had to do bathroom break. And I went to the men's room in there, and the women all went lined up. But they had this place where it was just like this gigantic urinal where you would go in, and there was a man in there who from Turkey who was passing out little pieces of paper for us to dry our hands. And the old thing came in to that's just part of the subconscious programming, which we really have to work at getting rid of. And we do it by not just thinking different, but by changing our behaviors. And as he was about to, first of all, I didn't want him to touch me. The place, you can imagine how lovely it was in this place. It was in very, very 90-some degrees and out in the desert, and and as he was handing me this, I just sort of blanched back, and then I had this thought go through my head, oh my God, there's always somebody trying to make a tip, and there's always somebody trying to make money, and then here we are again. Even in Turkey, I have to put up with this, and I don't want it. It's like that stuff that I've carried around inside of me, that non-divine love kind of thinking that's just, I love you, but stay away from me, and then I leave, and I'm about halfway back to give a lecture that they got cameras all set up, and it's outside the home of the mother of Jesus, where she lived, and I've got these thoughts swirling around in my head, these real spiritual thoughts about, I don't want that man to touch me, and because everybody wants to make money, and it's a whole rip-off world, blah, blah, blah. All these crazy thoughts going through my head as I'm about to lecture at the home of the mother of Jesus on living a divine and spiritual life. So I go back. I walk back to I just stop myself. See, you have to not only catch your thoughts whenever you have a thought like that, but you have to change your behavior. And my behavior shifted. I went back. I had a €20 note. €20, it's about $30. And that's all I had in my pocket, and I went back and I took it out and I put it in the man's hand. And I put my arms around him and I thanked him for being there and offering me an opportunity to dry my hands. And I told him I loved him. He spoke Turkish. He just looked like, who's this? But it didn't matter to me. That wasn't what it was about. It was about catching yourself and coming from a place of divine love for everyone, no matter who it is that you encounter at any time in your life. And I went back and I gave the talk.